Ladies, gents, what's going on? Let's do the do. Uranus in Taurus has hit the major square. Uh-oh, she's going cool.
I'm cool. I'm wearing his glasses and I feel Pernell cool. It's another level of cool, you know? No, you don't.
She feel Bobby cool. You don't know that. You don't know what that means.
You don't know until you know.
You don't know until you know. Let me give you a little camera here. All right, cool. Listen, Uranus in Taurus.
No, Uranus in Taurus. I'm sorry.
Whose anus?
Yours.
How old? She's 1 year old, y'all. Okay, listen. Uranus in Taurus hitting the big bang. I've been personally feeling this today for myself. Dang, it got hot quick. Venus in Leo is hitting a harder square. I'm looking at it right now. It still has some time to come. The moon right now is still at 12 degrees, okay? But it will hit that 19, all right? Sometime, likely in our sleep, if I'm being honest. Now, the fact that Virgo is the opposite of Pisces, this means that our dreams, okay, will be when the big bang happens. I want you to really pay attention to your dreams right now. Definitely thank you all for your likes and your thumbs up. All right, this is Pernell Bobby, your astro therapist, helping you to just expand beyond your suffering. All right, to alleviate it as a whole, by helping you understand different and new parts about yourself. Volume on that.
I'm sorry, yeah.
No, you're good. Why? Because these are the moments that I feel like I was born for, in all sincerity. When I look at this one of those transits where I kind of went sick. I went ham. We were in Orlando, and you and your parents went somewhere. I don't know where y'all went. And that was the day I was like, I'm staying home, and I went live, and then I went live.
Yeah, I think it was the day we went for ice cream.
And it was the big day. It was the one in the middle of the day, not the nighttime. And I went live, and I talked, and I warned a lot of people early, where we were feeling that 18 degrees of Uranus. Uranus. She loves that. Hey, Uranus. What's up, Murph? How you doing? We were feeling that 18 degrees of Uranus, and it was banging off in conjunction, I think, with Leo and Mercury. Now, the difference is, right now, our mind has gone through what this conjunction will feel like. Thank you, Murph, for the thumbs up. But now, our mind is beyond that, because the mind has already went through Virgo, and I was currently in, what's up, Stockton? I was currently in Libra, right? So what am I saying? I'm saying that this is one of the most tense times a month and a half ago. What was happening during that time frame? What was happening on your end?
I mean, I know for sure I was in my most Libra. I'm Libra rising this year. So it was in my most people-pleasing placement. Literally. I was in my sister's house or either in my dad's house, but I was trying to make the day-to-day living easy for everyone. This means it was the first time that my partner was meeting my parents and my sister, who are like the most important family to me. My sister is the closest thing to me. My dad is the closest thing to me right now. So it was really important for me that they get along. So I was doing the best for myself to keep this peace, keep everyone in the best mental state, because we're from two different cultures. Also, it's just hard enough when you're trying to introduce someone new to your parents, even if within your own culture. So I'm Mexican. We do have a lot of things that are different, and even with language barriers, it was some kind of like, oh, I have to call your mom Miss something. I cannot just call her by her name. And in Spanish is the same thing. Like, you should not address like, oye tú. It's like, usted. But these things are somewhere missed within translation. And something as easy as languages got lost, then add the whole cultural change. It was a lot to handle. And for myself, I was in this, I'm saying that I was in this Libra position because I was so worried with everyone else being happy that I just let go of my own happiness, of my own comfort.
Wow. It was that last part that made me go, ooh wee.
Yeah, because I honestly didn't even notice until I just had to journal and look to these things for myself. I think it was until you said something about it, I was like, oh, you're right. I'm completely misregarding myself. I don't know where I am in this equation. I just want everybody else to be happy. And if the price for everybody else to be happy is that I have to be miserable, it seems fair. And right now, as I am saying this out loud, it's like, what are you doing, Natalie? What the fuck?
That's what's fair, right? And I think this is interesting because now that Mercury is in Libra, that key word of Libra is fair, right? Fairness. Yes. You felt like,
I feel empowered now.
Yeah, it felt like that was one of those moments. So let's just go ahead and do that. Listen, the fact that Mercury is now in Libra, our minds are starting to catch up with a little bit more balance. You have to apply where your rising sign is, what your placements are, right? But on a more collective level, we're starting to feel a certain ease in a lot of the tension. Now, this is major because, especially in the relationships you're having with other people, we're beginning to, in the last day to, 36 hours, going through Mercury and Libra, our mind is trying to find a more harmonious win-win situation, a balance that is really not just thinking about only itself, but also at the same time, the balance, the purification. Libra is purification, right? After Virgo comes the purification of Libra. And so Libra is now purifying in a harmonious way, because Virgo as a feminine energy will just get rid of things that don't belong. But it's in a feminine destructive manner, right? It's in a feminine way that just gets rid of and literally poops out through the small intestines the things, the toxins, the people who you need to clean up on your friends list, the home and the things that are dirty and disorganized about the home. Virgo is cleaning up all of that. So now Libra is, with that clean space, able to feel a certain sense of organization within itself and the barriers that it created with people who you're dealing with in the day-to-day in your work life, in your environment that you actually go ahead and make your chicken, you make your money, and in your environment that you spend most of your time. So the beauty about this is that was so that we can better, when we get to Libra, which now we're in Mercury and Libra, before it goes retrograde, September 9th, it will retrograde. We're now starting to be able to work with other people in a more harmonious level. Now, why this is critical? It's because we didn't have that Libra posh type energy the first time around a month ago when she just gave that example about people pleasing. We didn't have that. So now it's like we're people pleasing, but we're people pleasing almost with no boundaries, with no ends. And we felt about a month and a half ago, like I felt for myself as well, it's like, how far will I flex myself? Right? Like how far will I shift and change myself before I'm no longer authentically myself? I'm no longer being the unique person that I know that I am. And this is where Leo comes in the square to our self-worth in Uranus. And Uranus!
I was just thinking that, but I was gonna keep that to myself.
You got anything you want to contribute? You want to pull a card off the rip just
Sure.
to help them understand the energy? As I keep speaking, you're going to get the formula.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, it was especially challenging and almost like obvious, this energy, just because of the Libra rising this year. I've been feeling it for a long time now in the way to date, of interacting with others. It was just like highlighted on that season because it was like just so obvious that I wanted to create this balance between family and partners, that it was just there. There was no way around it.
And so I made the title Love, Money, and Passion. Why? Because Leo was like when we start showing our love to the other people outside of us, right? Leo is when we now feel safe and secure from Cancer season and all the planets that was in Cancer, Venus in Cancer, Mercury in Cancer, all that. Now we've already finished Leo for the most part. It is still Venus in Leo, but now Leo is talking about gang. Now Leo is talking about, what's up, Kev?
Oh.
Showing that love to other people, saying, no, look, this is what I like. This is what I am. I'm very fixated in understanding what that is. This is how I want to show up. This is how I want to step on the world stage and perform as my most unique self. I have nothing to flex. And now Uranus in the square is you're going to have situations and people challenge your self-worth in Taurus. Challenge your value systems in Taurus. Challenge how radically have you upgraded your sense of worth, your sense of self, your sense of, no, this is what I have. I have myself. I have my worth. I have my own money. You know, you're starting to really want to make sure you look at the money even and say, look, I don't want to be sitting there having to switch and flex because I don't have the resources. I don't have the home. I don't have the car. I don't have the money, the physical things. Because I don't own something, now I got to lean on somebody else. This is happening where if you're leaning on somebody and you're not equating and balancing out that lean for Mercury in Libra, you're going to feel the heat and you're going to recognize very quickly that people are not resonating with you anymore. You're going to recognize that people are going to filtrate through your system. They're not going to last through the next step, through the next stage. A lot of us with this Uranus trend, why I said love, money, and passion, a lot of us will try to force our passions to fit with the next person. And the next person will try to force, you know, their money to compensate for the lack of love. A lot of people will try to compensate the lack of love and say, look, at least I got passion. And it's like none of it's gonna fit. The love, the money, and the passion with the energies in the sky are gonna have to balance out. And if they don't, you're gonna find yourself getting into frustrating arguments with people. Where if you're on the other side, thank you for that thumbs up. I do appreciate you. Check out our email list in the top of the chat. If you're on the other side, you would have found that you would have went through some hardship. You'd have went through some difficulties in your relationship, whether it's with a business partner, whether it's with an associate, or whether it's with your actual romantic partner. You would have recognized very clearly right now, potentially with, I don't know if it's at 16 degrees. I'm gonna check the chart in a second. But you would have went through those relationships with those people. I think it's mostly about love and partnership, quite frankly, right now. And now through those difficulties, those challenges, those obstacles, you would have strengthened your dynamic. Your relationship will feel much stronger. Your relationship will feel like, man, we made it through that little hump. We made it through that little hurdle. And what I want to say is, if you're in that side, go ahead and pat yourself on the back. Pat yourself on the back. So she has some energy she want to share with you real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, the card that I got for you is the Four of Wands in reverse. I'm going to show it to you upright so you can see the card. But Four of Wands is preparing, it's gathering energies. So when it is in reverse, it means that you are working too hard, that you're doing a lot of the things that you are supposed to do, but you're not allowing yourself to do something fun, something that you want to do. This could be as easily as having a day for yourself, just lying around and watching Netflix, having a date, going around with your friends, or just simply ordering food that you like, and that's it. You're working too hard. So this is a reminder of you must have fun as much as you work.
Yeah, the food part was key because Taurus is food, right? So you're gonna food. So Taurus, food. So Taurus is food, right? that's why I heard it. Food. So you're gonna be recognizing right now that prices have gone up. Because of the challenge from Saturn in Aquarius, it's going to hit us in a way where we're going to be asked to actually have some boundaries, to maintain certain foundations that will allow us to pursue our goals, which is Aquarius. That is the 11th house. That will allow us to pursue our goals and our dreams, our aspirations, all 11th house Aquarius, by combining with other people. Now, because this is actually a backtrack and Uranus is in retrograde, what's happening is it's going to go back over the challenges you had with other friendships, right? It's going to look at other friendships. It's going to go back over those challenges. It's going to say, do you have up the proper boundaries? I gave the example for myself today. What's up, Chrissy? I gave myself the example today in my live with the yoga. So shout out to you if you went to the yoga. If not, it's on replay. You can go ahead and get yoga, some heart magic. Eileen will explain a little bit about that in a second while I catch this breath, right? Because I'm on the wind right now. I'm on the wind, baby. I'm on the wind. Like, I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere. All right. Listen, Uranus in Taurus is gonna bang back again with Saturn in Aquarius. Why? Where's Uranus? Where's Uranus right now? It's 18 degrees. So that square is already happening with Saturn in Taurus. And it's asking us to really make sure we transform, really make sure we allow the old connections to die. We allow the people who are not supporting our hopes and our dreams and our aspirations to die. Thank you, Chrissy. Glad you joined the yoga. So what am I saying with that? I'm saying that Uranus and Taurus in retrograde is asking you to check in with that cosmic upload, not a download. Check in with it and understand, are you matching your worth with your dreams, your hopes, and your aspirations? Your worth being Taurus, okay? Are you abiding to the boundaries, the restrictions on your finances, Taurus? The restrictions being Saturn in Aquarius. Are you looking at the restrictions as being placed upon you, whether it's from a governmental structure, or whether it's just the fact that your job, who's governing your check, would be an authority figure, all right? It's just that your job is only giving you a certain set amount, and you can't move past that set amount based off of what your hopes and your dreams are asking for. So maybe your dreams are to go and move to Thailand, okay? But it's your money is saying, look, I have a ceiling right here. So what's being asked of us in this challenge is to recognize you've already crossed this, you've already understood this as a goal of yours, as a hope of yours. How can you navigate and adapt through your friendships and your connections so that they can help you better align and be placed in a position, all right, where you do have the money, but maybe you had to adapt. So it's like if your overhead says something like, hey, $5,000, you find a way to adapt to get more for that 5,000 than what you originally thought you were going to do, especially when it comes to creative talents, because Taurus is talents. It's our natural ability and what we need to develop. Thank you for that thumbs up. What talents do we need to develop? I give you an example, all right? I'm in the process of studying tarot, right? I'm in the process of remembering what I already know about tarot, but it's a developing talent. So it's like, I'm not a master of tarot, especially not at this point, but I'm having to practice, study, develop it slowly over time, which is why you don't see me really pulling a lot of tarot decks, right? You don't have me see me pulling a lot of tarot. She understands tarot, so she's pulling tarot right now, right? And I'm in a process of, on my own channel, I will be pulling tarot more. When I look at the founded and the grounded type of like evolution of it, I look to have this be a part of channel memberships where people who are on the channel and actually members of the channel, y'all will get your own private readings and things like that coming from the tarot, not just from, what's up, Lulu?
Yeah, and I do find it funny because as he is understanding tarot, I'm understanding astrology. So we're really complementing each other with these learnings that we want to do. But it's literally just remembering because we both have these understandings. We did have this knowledge in past lives. So right now we're only just understanding and remembering them. And for you, Chrissy, I just want to say that for specifically talking about finding your person, it is just about yourself being ready. And by this, what I mean, I did manifest my soulmate. And this is a process that I could only do when I was just okay with myself. So you really need to understand what is it that you want and start doing it yourself, because this is how the energies attract. You have to be in the same vibration as your soulmate so you can attract the right thing. Otherwise, you're just going to be attracting more of the same things that you're already having. You're going to be with your endless cycle if you haven't already understood and healed what needs to be healed. And learning this lesson for this cycle to be over and you to be ready to go into another thing. I do plan on doing some manifestation, how to manifest your partner in my channel, because I do realize that it was big. I do understand how it worked for me, and now I'm ready to help other people to do this exact same thing. Just keep having faith, keep being hopeful, and keep acting just the right way in integrity with yourself. Yeah, that's the thing. I just want to tell to you, Chrissy, that and this is something that I say a lot, at least to my partners, that it doesn't matter how many times I hear the exact same message. It isn't until something specific happens that even the exact same message, but just with other words, and then it suddenly just clicks. So I feel that it's something like that with you. You might be doing this work, and you have healed a lot. Like, just recognize that, take a moment to acknowledge that you have actually done a lot and that you're on the right tracks. But in order to attract your partner, the one that is actually going to give you a good start, and you're going to complement each other and you're going to help each other grow, you really need another kind of understanding. You need something else to click within your how do you say, the cogs, the things that work in a clock or something.
Cause and effect?
Cog, yeah, literally the cogs working in a perfect machine.
Cogs.
Yeah, you just need one more to click, and then you will have anything that you want. Really, I'm just feeling it. Just trusting me, I am channeling messages right now. I'm in a perfect place to do these things. So if you have any other questions, just
So as she says that, what questions do you have as you would like a tarot pulled? So what we're gonna do is, if you have a personal question and you want to sit there and put a donation in, we'll make sure we put your comment up at the top. We're gonna give you some priority and actually answer some of those questions. As it pertains to anything Taurus related, anything Leo related in your chart, I want you to look at those parts, right? Don't make it so broad. Make it about you yourself. All right, and if you ask a question, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna pull a tarot for you, and just go ahead and make the donation, it's gonna happen. So, whoever that is. But what I do have just on the low is the support for the Virgo new moon, and it says companionship. It says companionship. But notice that her companions are not other humans right now. Virgo does very well when it gets into nature. Virgo does very well when it gets its feet into the dirt. The feet are Pisces, the shadow. So a lot of times Virgo might think, I'm too clean to put my feet in the dirt. But in reality, it's one of their biggest benefits. So this companion can be literally nature, putting your feet in the dirt. It's asking you to go ahead and, if you're in a place where you're struggling right now, provide and support animals somehow, some way.
And I've been having this message to adopt a kitty. Today, I've been dreaming about it. We even saw an ad for kittens in adoption. And today I just saw an ad of how to make a kitty that you just adopted to feel safe in your new home. So all of these things, take these synchronicities into account. Even if you don't feel like you are in the position to adopt a company, it could be a bird, a dog, a cat, whatever it is, a lizard, a tarantula. I saw a video of a tarantula pet today. Whatever it is, just take it into account. Maybe not literally having them, but sensing their souls. I mean, kind to animals. When you go out in the nature, when you go out in your day-to-day and you see in the street a dog or a kitten or any kind of animal, just be kind to it, because I feel like that's what the call is right now, is to have this bond with the animals. It doesn't matter if you actually have them with you in your house.
And listen, when you hear them listen, animals talk to you, dogs talk, birds talk, trees talk. You just gotta give it a chance to listen. I just dropped in the chat February 17th. I want to help you better understand. I want everybody to go check your photos right now on your phone. All right? Check your Google Photos, check your back date. Go to September 17th. A couple of days before.
February.
What did I say?
September.
Oh, my bad. February this year, February 17th, this year. Go back, rewind the clock. All right, this is the 8th month, February is the 2nd. That's 6 months ago.
17?
So the last full moon, which would have likely been something like full moon in Pisces or full moon in Virgo, one or the other, forgive me in the moment, would have shown you something. What was happening February 17th, because that was the last time that this conjunction close to what's happening right now occurred. It would have likely been more with Saturn in Aquarius, all right, and Uranus in Aquarius. Uranus and Taurus, excuse me. So when those two things happened, something was going down in February. It would have likely been a very tense moment. I looked back for myself and this is one of my bigger spiritual / ego deaths, right? February 17th, I was right before I was getting ready to come to Mexico, I was dying. I literally felt like I was just not gonna make it. If I'm being honest, I felt like, man, if somebody just hit me on the side of the road right now, then fuck it. And that was kind of the mood I was in as a Scorpio rising. So for my Scorpios, this is hitting, right? She spoke something earlier about when we were in Orlando last month as a prime example. So Taurus is hitting Scorpios, is making us on the south node in Scorpio to rise up that dirt, to rise up the things that we tucked underneath the rug. And there were some things that I took under the rug from a whole entire previous relationship. She spoke about this yesterday when we were talking about like how men deal with breakups, because right now we're talking love, money, and passion.
Oh, yeah. And this is just a generalization. It doesn't mean like every man just behaves like this and that every woman behaves the other way.
It's not a generalization, but it's a really close thing, because I'm saying it right now for myself, where it's like I like to think personally that I do a lot of healing. Okay, I like to think that I do make sure I take my time alone on my own and do a lot of healing. And I also have to realize and embrace that I do distract myself through certain devices, through certain TV shows like maybe Netflix, through music and escapism, through just potentially, especially in the past, hopping into another relationship just quickly after another relationship. And so it's like, so some of those things, a lot of those things have already been changing, big major shifts. And that's what Uranus and Taurus is doing. And I had to recognize through that the times, like for me last February, when I did not hop into another relationship, when I made sure for a fact that I just didn't even talk to another female, quite frankly, after my last relationship in between. I just took that major break and said, look, I found other ways to escape in all sincerity, but this is the Uranus asking us to look at our love life, to look at how we connect with other people, because Taurus is the 2, which would be connection. All right, at the low level, how do we balance myself and another person, that person and myself? And I had to really recognize, like, and this came up, this is a part of the Uranus Taurus retrograde, and how it's banging with Leo specifically right now, Venus and Leo, as we're here in this new moon in Virgo. It was banging in a way where it's showing me like, Pete, these relationships that you had were repeating because you were literally finding other people, whether a man or a woman, to be responsible, emotionally responsible for your own maternal wounds. And this is something that's serious. It's like me having to really take a decent look at what was the consistent variable that keep repeating. It's like I had to look at what are my maternal wounds? What was my subconscious programs? And some of my subconscious programs was to get into another relationship and realize, like she said, the masculine energy, that me being in another relationship is me kind of like thinking that I got over the last relationship, that I healed my wounds, that I didn't have any wounds. And in reality, this particular Uranus for me, because mind you, Taurus for me is my 7th house naturally as a Scorpio rising. So this is my partnerships. So for me, with Venus and Leo, this is about actually looking at this and realizing, one, that my emotional healing is my emotional healing. It's not to place on somebody else, for starters. 2, to be aware of that so that I'm not seeking through partners or other people, that I'm not seeking them to essentially nurture me, kind of like some Queen of Pentacles, all right? So that's a Queen of Cups, sorry, like a Queen of Cup, right? The cups being the emotions and the queen being that motherly figure who can kind of like take care and nurture me. So it's like, whether this was men or women, and I had to recognize this, because it's not just about a romantic partnership. This could have been even in a business relationship, to heal my wounds around certain forms of betrayal. And so this is where my heart was not healing. That's why it's about love, money, and passion. But Venus and Leo is now asking us to be confident and bold. And, well, this is what I am in my polished form. And me being able to be strong and feel the strength, the fortitude, okay, which is like the strength card in tarot, is like feel the strength of that Leo energy and say, look, this is who and what I am. And as a part of that, I can see and be aware of my insecurities in the ways that I relate with other people, which is Leo, relating with other people, showing your love, being on that public stage, but other people are seeing it. And we have that Leo energy here, and a lot of it is leaving. So it's like I can do that, I can take in advice, I can listen, okay, to a partner or to someone else and not have a superior or a higher than or a bigger than life mentality around I'm better than my partner, even if I don't say it out loud. So for me, this is about what it was in one aspect, as well as being mindful of what am I spending from a financial standpoint on partnerships, and how do I balance that out. That could be anything. When I say what am I, it's about Saturn in Aquarius forcing me to get real serious. Saturn is a serious sign on how am I using my personal resources.
Hey, and what if there was no tension on February 17th? Because I'm looking at my pictures, And it was actually like a very promising time. I just went to see my friend and teacher to a play. I just had some good news for myself. I went
Did
out
you
with
check
my
about
friends.
4 to 6 days prior and 4 to 6 days after?
Yeah, like everything literally was going great. I just recorded a video for myself. I won the contest, so I went to see my friend. I was out with my friends. Like,
Do you have any planets in Taurus?
planets? I don't think so. No, I don't, right?
What houses do you have in Taurus?
12. This 12th house.
12. So the only thing that would have been shifting during that time frame, but you have Aquarius. Was there anything dying or being reborn in during that time frame? Any one of your goals, your hopes, your aspirations, any friends or networks that were challenged, and maybe you start recognizing certain friends fit or didn't fit?
Well, they fit, like, again, like 3 days later of February 17th, I went out with my friends because it was going to be my birthday. So we literally did this birthday just blowout.
Boom. And you are still friends now.
Of course, yeah, they've been my friends like for 16, 17 years now.
Did it strengthen from that time frame?
Yeah, you could say so.
So like I said, things would have strengthened
Yeah.
or they would have fell apart.
Okay.
So it's not a bad thing, right?
It doesn't have to be necessarily a tense situation.
It never has to be only bad.
Okay.
Ever, 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 ever. It's like, you know, the thing is, if anything, again, Taurus likes stability. So if anything, those relationships could have got stronger.
Yeah.
You know, it could have become more clear that they're supporting your occult dreams. Okay, you're more mystic, because you have 8th house in Aquarius. They could have been supporting the more occult or mysticism and the mystical things that you're doing around brujeria, and then maybe some would have been supporting it less. But both of those signs are very private, where they don't have to be clear on whether they really support it or not. They just don't have to say anything. So they could potentially not support it if we took the opposite, if we took devil's advocate on purpose.
Yeah.
They might not support the occult within you. They may actually be reinforcing the 12th house for Taurus. They may be reinforcing what you would have known from birth, being 12th house, what you know from before you were conscious, your subconscious programming. They may be reinforcing that, which would also not seem like a threat because it's already your underlying running program.
Yeah, like instead of friendships, long-lasting friendships, I'm telling you, like, I think this year we're like 16, 17 years into, into that friendship.
I seen something with the Pisces specific on 3rd house in Uranus, and you can check these.
Yeah, I'm mostly asking for other people
for out loud.
Yeah, if they don't have any tension moments, like what does this mean?
So
and you already answered that by saying like it could strengthen all of these bonds. Yeah.
Especially because in February 17th, February 17th, it was happening at 7 degrees.
Okay.
So this would actually be less about your friendships, actually, so forgive me. This for everybody collectively would have been more about business partnerships. It could have been friendships, which were more likely on the not deep relationship, but more superficial. So these are already your long-standing friends.
Yeah.
16 years. 16 years is not 7th house friendships. That's not 7th house friendship. 16 years are like 8th house now. That's like intimate relations. That's intimate bonds. This happened at 7 degrees with the square. So it would have challenged romantic relationships. So now during February, did you seem to rapidly go through an acceleration of your self-worth, your self-esteem from a relationship, whether you were in it or not?
Yeah. Yeah, I did let someone go because I wasn't feeling like valued.
Is this romantic or is this platonic?
Romantic.
So this is on the romantic side.
Yeah.
So literally, this self-worth, that would have had that, you would have let it go because Saturn in Aquarius would have then said, hey, you need to have a boundary. You have the knowledge. Hey, what's up, J-Lo? You have the knowledge, the cosmic intelligence, the future sight to see that this relationship is not serving.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I realized, I don't want this in a relationship, so you like, kill it.
Boom, because Taurus is self-worth. It's your own self-esteem. So it's basically rapidly going through. Now, if not the 17th of February, I then want you to look back to December 24th. What's that, Christmas?
Oh yeah, like the day before Christmas, I think.
That's December 24th, 2021.
I was working that day, actually.
You were working.
Yeah.
So December 4th. This one was then at, what's up, J-Lo? What's up, everybody? Shout out to y'all. I have no Taurus in my chart. Chrissy, check your Placidus.
Yeah, you should have like a house in Taurus, even if you don't have planets, because I am the same way. I don't have any planets in Taurus.
So December 24th, you're now looking at the 11th degree. All right? Saturn in Aquarius was also squaring Uranus in Taurus. So this would have been one more step. So if I look at myself in February, actually in February, I was in the same boat as you. February, there was a woman that I dated back in Asia, and it was like, I remember having that conversation, and I finally was able to, and I'm talking over years, right? And this for me was like crazy. So this is the evidence of how it can rapidly boost you from point A to point Z, and it can seem like it's real quick. Because December 24th and February 17th, this woman was somehow in my life, even though I haven't seen her in physical person for like 2 years, right? For 2 years, I've not seen her in person. And in that 2-year time frame, we did not even talk the whole time. So that already was like the evidence, right? But on the 17th, I found myself very clearly, like finally, it felt like finally, that's what it felt like. Finally, I'm okay with the status of this is just not for me. This just won't work. After repeating, after these long gaps of no talk, no talk, maybe this, but what day? I hope for this, but maybe it's not. All of that back and forth, right? For years. And so February 17th, it was finally I came to myself, like the final ability to kind of let it go. Now this for me is a Scorpio rising, right? So it's like Taurus is in the complete opposite house of me. It's hitting that first house. Me, myself, is having to gain that self-esteem. South Node Scorpio was now asking me to let it go. Right? Literally it's asking me to let it go. Let go of that intimate bond, or at least what I seemed and felt like as an intimate bond. December 24th, that Christmas, I remember this same exact person. I was feeling completely heartbroken where they were supposed to be there, okay, quote unquote, supposed to be there for Christmas. They were not. Right? And I found myself like in this lonely, like, you know, wanting to sip on the brown liquor and be like, Georgia, where's my girl? You know what I'm saying? But again, it was one more evident moment that this clash, this tension was forcing me to value myself more, forcing me to set boundaries. And I still didn't fully do it then, right? And so if I look back, the next date that might really, really matter for you, for everybody on here, for me is to go forward, all right? So we're going to go forward. I'm going to drop you on the 12th. And Eileen, in the meanwhile, can you pull an energetic card about, one, seeing through what you saw with the comments already, all right? Two, to better guide people from the point of this life that we're at now and what they need to know moving forward. Because right now, I just give y'all a flashback of the past. Thank you for the thumbs up. Please do hit that thumb, knock it up, help your boy out, all right? Like we said, if you want something personal, if you want us to pull a personal card on this live for you around how is Uranus and Taurus affecting you or the Venus and Leo, just go ahead, drop a donation, and then you will be the next person to get a question and a card pulled for yourself individually. Time being, we're then gonna move to September 12th, so we're gonna go forward. So I gave a little sample. Now, mind you, do take this, you know, objectively where I am a Scorpio rising, so I gave you examples about where the axis hits relationships, right? She has a different rising sign.
Yeah, for example, I'm this year. What did I say? Like, what's more relevant, this year's rising or natal? Because December was a completely different rising. right? And even February 17 was a different rising for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing the most relevant would be like natal.
Well, your natal was always going to be what it's going to be. But February 17th was not your birthday yet, so you would have
No.
the same rising from your December.
Yeah, but not the same rising as right now, for example.
No, not the same as right now.
Yeah, so
No.
I'm a Gemini rising naturally in the natal chart. And around December 24th, I was actually working. I was in a play. So that day we had some shows. I think we did like half a day of shows. And then we went to have dinner and just have fun afterwards. Because the funny thing is that we were 4 friends that we just met that year, like I don't know, like 1 month prior, and we were celebrating Christmas together because we didn't have any family at a time in the same state as we, in the same place as we were. So that's what was happening for me in December 24th. It was again no tension moment, no relationship at all. Just they were my coworkers at the time, if that helps in any way. We were having a lot of fun.
Well, you got a good life.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, we did have a great night. After 10, actually.
So I am looking to the future. J-Lo, check yourself on the 17th and also look back December 24th to see how was it impacting you. Find a new TV. And remember, take this like a couple days before, take this a couple days after. All right, like 4 to 5 days before, 4 to 5 days after.
Yeah, and the card that I have right now for everyone in the chat is the Queen of Swords, which would be using logic and planning and strategy in the most feminine way. Like not acting without knowing all of the details before, just understanding how everything will play out in the end, so you can have the best from both worlds. I'm gonna show you the card. It did came upright this time. This is the Queen of Swords energy.
You got 3 12th house placements in here right now, Chrissy. That means a lot. To be honest, it's hard to just explain on the moment on a live. At least to be with any type of accuracy, if you will. But maybe J-Lo can share her experience. I know she has some tightness with it. That said, September 12th, 2022 is one of the next tight squares. What did you just pull for them?
2022? Yeah, the Queen of Swords.
Which is what now? The brief.
Yeah, it's about understanding with logic and acting with this feminine side, but using the logic, using the strategy, planning ahead, not just acting recklessly.
So we're doing that right now. The September 12th is the next day to kind of like go ahead and keep your head up.
Like September 12th this year?
This year.
Okay.
And then the October 1st.
This year as well.
This year, keep an eye up because Saturn will be retrograde at 18 degrees. Once that hit 18, it'll get very much more tighter. What I'm talking about right now will get a lot tighter to the degree of Taurus. So right now, Saturn is still 20 degrees and it's going backwards. So it's going to go 19 and then it's going to go 18, right? So on the 1st, it's then going to be retrograde at 18 degrees. So it's going to go backwards 2 more degrees, which is then when it gets tight because Uranus is at 18 degrees. So right now, these things I'm talking about, they're happening and they're still 2 degrees away. 2 degrees is still a very tight square. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to stunt. I do thank you for those thumbs up. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to stunt. It's still tight, right? And what's happening is the pressure is building. If I gave you some examples we went to dinner a little earlier and I saw 2 different couples, for example. And I saw one girl literally looking at Eileen this is all like speculation, right? I can't confirm this. I didn't have a conversation, right? But I saw one girl, Eileen had no idea. She had no idea she was looking at her. I saw one girl look at Eileen and she was like, what does this girl have that I don't have? Why does she seem to be with this guy and I'm with this guy? Again, speculation, right? It's just a feeling that I felt. It was what it was. The table right next to them, there was another guy and a woman, and they had a burrito, they split it in half, all right, for example. But before they did, the woman spread the salsa on top, you know how it comes all drizzled on nicely, and she spread it across the burrito. And the guy was like, what the hell are you doing? Like, why did you do that? Like, you kind of messed it up. And she looked back at him and she didn't even speak. In her heart, it felt like, this is just the way it's gonna be. And then he's like, what? And so she didn't even say that. He cut the burrito in half and he kind of like angrily put it on his plate.
How did I miss all?
She missed a lot. And then there was just a moment where, like, you know, the guy looked up at me, and then I recognized that he really became insecure about, like, wow, was this guy above me? Because I was on the second floor. Was this guy above me, like, watching and judging me and criticizing me and, you know, thinking God knows what about me while I did what I did? And so his own insecurities took a moment to rise, where she really never even said anything, but you could see very clearly, like, that she didn't want to be with that guy that much longer. So one of the things happening with this love, money, and passion transit, where all this stuff happening, is like boundaries are really being formed. All of us as individuals, Taurus individual, is starting to really think about, well, what am I worth? And, you know, I can do better. And that's a lot of what's happening. And Mars in Gemini is actually quick enough, it's impulsive enough to go ahead and cut down the barriers about in the areas where people are going against what it thinks. Share it.
I was just playing, but I did got the Empress upright position. So it's about this big woman boss energy. There's a lot of feminine energy in the air. Maybe it's because of Virgo season. Virgo is a feminine energy too. And I have been noticing people being more in touch with the feminine side, which is not a bad thing at all. You just have to embrace it and just balance it. If you're a guy with your masculine energy, and if you're a girl, just let it flow, because this is the natural state. So go with this natural feminine energy that is being asked of you right now, to just do the things that you're called to, even if it looks like corny, I might even say, because it has this motherly figure. It has this, I'm gonna nurture you. I just want to take care of you. I just want to be this this kind person that is supporting. And this is what the divine feminine does. It holds and supports.
Boom. So one of the things that's going on with this is you might be finding yourself, from a resource, from a money standpoint, from what you actually have, you might be finding yourself sacrificing for joy, okay? You know, for joy, for happiness, for projects, for finances, to kind of be arranged, to be rearranged. So these different key themes, right? Joy, Leo. Happiness, Leo, right? Having fun, playing around. Projects, your creative projects, again, kind of Leo, as well as Taurus. Like, what do you own, right? Like, you make a PDF, it's a project of yours, but you own that intellectual piece of information, right? Finances, Taurus, as well as like arranging it all while we're in Virgo season, while the Virgo new moon is here. You have a great opportunity for the next 6 months to arrange all of this energy and look at your rising signs and how they really impact and affect you, because you're going to be starting to recognize with the Saturn Aquarius, what are the boundaries, what are the barriers that you're willing to start looking at and begin to sacrifice, all right, in order for your dream, which is Neptune in Pisces, dissolving boundaries around what you dream of. What is the lifestyle you dream of? What is so authentic and unique about you yourself that you're starting to dream about it and you're like, I can do that project. You know, you're starting to look at it like, I deserve that joy. You're starting to look at it like, you're like, you know, that project is mine. It's like, I deserve to do that project. I gave an example earlier on the line for me, myself, is like, you know, watch out and check for emotional manipulation. And I had to really understand, like, where have people been emotionally manipulating me, giving me the type of attention. And this is nothing to do with live. This is nothing to do with YouTube. This is like backdoor groups. Where have people been giving me the attention to have me join into their groups? And where am I not honoring that my personal reputation and what I personally built for myself over the consistency of God knows blah, 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 blah years? Where have I just sat there and not fully honored what I have to bring to the table when I'm being asked to develop curriculum for different organizations and groups? And I had to start recognizing this, like, and, you know, really recently it was one of the things, and I had dreams that kind of came and pulled up. It's funny that Shireen posted to the chat, the dream lady. If I need a dream read, go check Shireen. it's funny that she pulls up in the chat because, this dream just happened to really come up where, I'm in a room and it's like all these other people, like one of the astrologers that I like, that I really, really enjoy. I was checking her channel. I like her channel in general a lot. And, shout out to Mary Altman. And like literally Mary Altman was just like in my dream. And she was like this really, really bossy lady that when she came into the room,
Emperor vibes.
She
Literally,
literally
yeah.
had like Queen Dingaling,
Yeah,
like
Emperor
she
vibes.
had BDE energy. Okay, I don't know how to say it for a woman, but she had big dick energy, right? And she came in the room and everybody kind of like stood up and like got up out of their chair, and I'm like still sitting in my chair and I'm looking over like, dang, like. And one way I respect it, like she got everybody whipped. Another way it's like I hope they don't expect me at this job to be doing all of that, right? Like because I still stood. Like when everybody sat back down, I finally like wanted to stand up, and it was just showing me myself like in general. Aquarius, the Aquarius in me and with learning is like I always like to take the separate, awkward route, right? A different route. And it was just kind of like there was more things that happened in this dream, but it went on where Shaquille O'Neal even popped in me, and he showed me this like secret website, right? And the whole time, the point being, I didn't know what my job was to do. That was the key. To be mindful of joining a community, joining the groups, and I'm just sitting there watching and observing, and I observed so long that I end up getting caught in something where I don't actually really want to be there. It just looks nice to be there, it will be great to be there. The proposition, the position that people are offering, the things that they're saying, it may sound nice, it may sound sweet, but for me, when it comes to communities, mind you, this retrograde is bringing us back through, well, who am I? What am I worth? Right? What makes me unique, and what do I uniquely have to bring to the table to communities of others? And as a part of that, how do I make sure that I get what I'm worth in return? Right? Because Leo's not really going to be anywhere where it's not receiving the praise and attention. And we must be mindful, and this is for me right now, I say it, I must be mindful of where does people look to actually recognize that I really do love that attention, something I have to really come to terms with. I love the praise, I love all of that stuff, but where do people understand that about me, and they go ahead and kind of give that, knowing that they have an ulterior motive and an expectation on the back end, where they may give that, but they realize that, look, I'm gonna give this little cookie up front, but he's gonna pay us much more on the back end. And so this, with the Saturn Aquarius and these squares, we're going back. We're looking at these friendships. We're looking at these connections. Who once supported you that actually might have actually brought you up, but maybe they're also bringing you down. We learned this from the full moon in Aquarius. So we don't go through these lessons. We don't remember these things about ourselves and our personal roles to go ahead and just forsake them. You feel me? We don't just like throw them back out and be like, oh, well, Aquarius season is over. Okay, well, the full moon passed. Right? No, like it passed to try to teach you something. Did you miss that cycle or did you make it? So where are we going to be looking at sacrificing joy, happiness, projects, and potentially even finances so that our bigger hopes, our bigger dreams can come true?
Word.
Word. Definitely hit the thumbs up. Definitely check our email list, okay? If you, by tomorrow, you're gonna get something. If you check it, type in my little secret, and I'm gonna type it right here. My little Virgo, my bad. Yeah. My little Virgo, because of course it's Virgo season. My little Virgo secret. Type that in your email by tomorrow is Sunday?
Yeah, tomorrow 9:15 CDT.
Yeah, and what are they gonna get?
You're gonna get like the tips, the little Virgo secrets in order to survive this whole
apocalypse
season. A spell, the PDF for a spell in order to increase the self-esteem, and
so we're literally giving them a self-esteem spell.
Yeah, because Virgo season can be.
Remember, you can't give them too much because remember,
no,
it's only for the people on the list. Only on the list.
I know. I'm just like talking about why did I do this specific spell in particular, and it's because this Virgo season can really bring you down if you don't have the best energy, if you're not in your best self, if you're not like grounded enough. So this is a spell in order for you to do a charm that will remind you of that when you're in the most need. You can just grab it and smell it and do a whole of things because I went all out for it. It has aromatherapy, it has a spell, it has candles, it has everything.
Boom. So you're gonna get that, check that out. The last thing I really have that I want to say to you, because today we're not giving forecasts for each and every rising sign for Uranus retrograde, but I would like to definitely probably do that, likely with Eileen, so she's gonna be pulling a card for each person. For now, if you have personal questions about anything we said, you can definitely go ahead and you can donate and we'll pull a personal card for you, unique to you, right? But otherwise, wait around a little bit and you're gonna get it more on the rising for each sign and how you would be impacted on this retrograde. The only last two things I really want to say to you, June 24th, okay? That's the other date I wanted to go back to. I'm going to type it here. June 14th, all right? You mind checking yours? Check your phone.
June 14th,
June 14th, check your photos in 2021.
2021?
2021, last year, all right?
I felt like that was so scripted. I swear it wasn't. June?
What happened? What happened June 14th?
April is 1st.
2021.
June?
Yeah. And so that was around the time when there was an eclipse in Gemini, all right? While the North Node was in Gemini.
June 11?
June 11th would work. June 11th would work. What happened? What's going on?
I got the best news of that year. I just got hired in a play after years of being in quarantine.
Boom. So quarantine, the restrictions, Saturn in Aquarius hit in March 2020. That's when Saturn first went into Aquarius. What happened? The world went into global lockdown. All right? That's in 2020. So 2021, finally she got out of the quarantine and the restrictions were lifted around this time for her, June 14th. If I remember myself, I felt very light. I felt very free. I was living a really good life, okay, in June 14th. I had literally my most expensive home that I've ever paid to live in. Yes, my most expensive home that I ever paid to live in. And a home is Taurus, right? And I lived in it with a partner. So that's a prime example, right? I'm a Scorpio rising, 7th house is Taurus. So that was for me in that area. Now, the reason why for her, if her natural natal is the 12th house in Taurus, right? She was 12th house gives blessings. 12th house always takes something, but it always gives you more than what it takes. All right. So something was taken from her. What? I don't know in the moment. But what was she given?
I was hired in a play. I was literally just being paid to act again, to act, dance, sing, and have fun.
You sing?
Yeah.
You want to sing a song right now?
I don't know. I don't know what.
Do it.
Oh, you're the best friend that I ever had. I've been with you such a long time. You're my sunshine, and I want you to know that my feelings are true. I really love you. You're my best friend.
Thank you, Sharina. I appreciate you. Thank you for singing. That was dope. Give me some. Give me some.
I'm sorry.
You definitely hit me in the face. You definitely.
Yes!
Yeah.
High five to your face.
Y'all should have seen it. She had a sticker on her. What's up, Elijah? Gang. Love it. I know. I love her voice. She's getting ready to sing on her channel, so make sure you check it out. Drop your channel for me.
Thank you. Yeah,
make sure
sure.
you check it out. She's gonna be singing at least once a week.
Yeah,
So
that was the energy of today.
that's how Leo and Venus, after going to Mercury, after the sun was there, so after the mind in Leo said, I'm the shit, after the sun in Leo said, I'm the shit too, now Venus is there, we're finally valuing and even being addicted at the high extent to our most creative expression. For her, she just mentioned, part of it is acting, part of it is singing, right? Part of it is dancing. So it's like she one of them like Michael Jackson freaks, right? But we're in that process of like unlocking everything Leo-esque. So thank y'all for the love. I appreciate it. That's how one of those squares, mind you, so she gave you a lot of examples of how a lot of good things happened, right? A lot of good things happened while these big transits were going down. So it's like what's up with that? That's just a prime example of us. Thank you for those thumbs up. I do appreciate you. What's up, Elijah? That's a prime example about how no transit is just all bad. No transit is just all good. We're all individuals, where I was going through generally much rougher times on each one of these transits as a Scorpio rising. And she was literally living it up. I'm almost over here like, you ain't got nothing bad to say. You ain't got crap diddly. But the reason I said, like, I looked last June, you know, this eclipse in Gemini was really bringing out that objective mind in myself. I started learning how last year, probably really for one of the first times in relationships, to look at relationship with a little bit of objectivity of Gemini, to learn how to be creative, be playful, be communicative, but also not really be overly attached to something or nothing, right? And so, or the dark or the light on left or right. And so it's like, all of this was changing. So look back to June 14, 2021. The last 2 days that I have for you, all right, will be in October. So I'm going to type this. Why? Because you have an eclipse coming in Scorpio. And then you have November 8th, 2022.
2022.
And then you have an eclipse. Again, I think this one's new moon, if I'm not mistaken. Eclipse. No, this is full moon, probably. I think that's a full moon from the last eclipse that just happened. Right? So bang. So that's an eclipse in Taurus. I do believe that's a full moon. So I wanted to like have y'all just keep your heads up for that on this Uranus retrograde, because Uranus is in Taurus. So these are the dates, these are the times when it's gonna really hit hard. All right, it's gonna hit heavy. So definitely make sure you check in with that. Are the bugs coming for me? Yeah. I feel them.
Like this paranoia with bugs, I swear.
It's so terrible. I get annoyed because I get hot. So then I get naked, and then I get freaking bit, so then I want to get clothes on. It's just like I can't win. So these are the themes, all right? I do want to do this video in a sense a little bit later as it develops, because really, like I said, until October, I think until September 12th / October 1st is when it's going to hit a lot harder, when 18 degrees would be really exact conjunct with Uranus. That's when it's going to bang heavy, all right? Definitely check out her channel. That's Eileen's channel. If you have not subscribed.
It took me forever, but there.
Shala, I just found you guys and love your vibration. It's so high. You damn right.
Oh, cool, yeah.
I love how we're like completely different too. Like, oh, cool, yeah. And I'm like, you damn right. Nothing but love for you. Now, I appreciate you. This is really, welcome to the channel. Everybody give Shala a big welcome to the community, to the vibes. Shala, we just ran a free yoga today. So definitely check out the events. I definitely want to drop this once more. When you get your email, the next one should say, My Little Virgo Secret. So definitely type in by tomorrow. What time does it go out? 10 o'clock in the morning?
9:15 CDT.
9:15? Why 9:15?
It's unique. It's Aquarius.
She is an Aquarius. Like 9:15? Why are you hiding the chip show? You're being selfish.
I don't think they're like at the rich too.
Dorito. And it's Spanish. What does that say? Incognita.
Mexican.
Incognita. I like the black bag.
They're cool. They're the coolest Doritos in Mexico.
But I won't lie to you. I like the regular Dorito better. I like the Tostitos better.
Oh yeah, those aren't Doritos.
They're just way better. But it tastes like Doritos but better. I don't know about them.
11s. Yes.
Damn. Yeah, 11 gang. What's up, Chrissy? So, if you were talking earlier that you were struggling with X, Y, and Z, I remember you said something like, boom, I'm 41 now, like what's going on? And you're a life path 11. Do you want to pull, I feel like we need to pull a card for her. Just what does she need to know as a life path 11 to get out of the rut, whatever it is?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. It looks heavy.
Swear in Spanish too.
It looks heavy.
So I got 2 cards for you. So I have the Six of Wands upright position, which is about fighting for your beliefs. Whatever it is that you believe in, you have to fight till the end. Don't let anyone just bend that boundary, that belief. Whoever messes with you and with this boundary, with these beliefs, and it's not acting in your what you believe is the most like honest path for you, then it's out of the way immediately. Like maybe this is the thing that you haven't been resonating with anyone, but understand that this is good too, because you're understanding who you vibe with and who you don't. And then have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, which is about preparing your resources in order to go to a battle, literally. So I think that it has to do something with you being life path 11. Research a little. I don't know if you have, honestly, but if you haven't, just keep researching about what this means. What do you need to do in this life? Because it is going to give you the key. Gathering these resources, it does mean it like in a more like material way, in money, in houses, in everything that you can actually touch. But I do feel like it is information too. What information is being kept from you that you need right now? You need to gather all of your resources in order to go to battle and in order to actually get this soulmate. That's what I'm getting right now.
Gang, gang, gang. So, Chrissy, I am dropping a video for you that will specifically be about protecting your energy as a life path 11. And I'm going to try to check and look at a different one to help you understand.
I do have it's actually my very first video of why I've started actually just being in YouTube. And it is because of my life path 11 calling. So if you want to check that out too, just go ahead and do it. I feel like it's gonna help you just understand what this calling is and pursuing it yourself. Because for me, it's on the spiritual path. I don't know for you exactly where it is, but doing what you're being called for, because we all decided to be in this life for some reason. So just find out yours in order to actually keep doing it. And when you start doing it and vibrating in that pattern, you're gonna attract persons that are looking for the exact same things. So I think that's exactly when you're gonna attract your partner.
Yeah, I do have a relationship video on my channel as well. Honestly, just type my name, Pernell Bobby, Life Path 11. I have like 6 videos on Life Path 11. I took very different angles on each one. So I did drop one primarily about how to protect your energy as an 11. There's more about relationship. There's more about, Michael Jordan is a Life Path 11 as an example. Freaking Kanye West is a life path 11. Barack Obama is a life path 11. I'm a life path 11. She's a life path 11. So you see some examples of very different lifestyles. Quite frankly, 11s don't have they don't have gates. Like they don't have like restrictions or anything. But there's very easy at the same time to get caught up in something that's not fulfilling, to something that's not aligned. It's very easy because, in all sincerity, it's a path of great depression if you do not manage it properly. Like, I'm gonna be honest.
No, and I did have this calling too. Like when I was doing my first reading, when I first discovered that, I knew it was a life path 11, but I didn't know what it meant. When I went to a reading to understand what it was about, it was like, you can do whatever you want as long as it is on alignment. So literally, you can do whatever as long as it is fulfilling you and being a service to the humanity.
She's right. Life path 11 do have that possibility. Look, I'm a 2-9-11 and so is she. I'm a 2-9-11. We're both 2-9-11s. So there are different kind of life path 11s. You can have a 4-7. You can have a 3-8. 3 plus 8, 11.
7-4.
7 plus 4, 11. 2 plus 9, 11. So this is our personal path, right? We're both 2-9-11s. And I found it funny. I can't remember this card, but it does says creation and it does says water. So that's the whole simplicity. I got a reading last night for myself, okay? By the lovely Eileen here. She did a read. And it was one of the things telling me like, look, the next steps in your career is going to be relying on my instinct and the creation energy within me. That it literally was like right now, you can dive into all the things of you stepping out of your body. This could be something as simple as alcohol as a spirit, right? If tequila is a spirit of the Mexicans or salsa, vodka is the spirit of Russia, right? Rum is the spirit of Colombians along with other people,
Pirates.
right? Pirates, right? just being barbaric, quote unquote. So the wine is different. All these are different spirits. So that's one level. Whether it's, I'm not making any recommendations on this. This is just my personal read. Whether it's DMT, whether it's LSD, never took it. But it's like, it was just saying a lot of what the 11 is about in a lot of ways. Like their spiritual prowess is pretty much limitless, and it's always like leadership driven. But to accept and embrace that leadership of a one for starters, and then you double up the one and intensify the energy, it's much easier to just quit and then lay down, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, he also had like this choice. One of the cards was the Guru card. It was one of the houses of the moon, and it was literally Neptune, Moon, Pisces. So it was about, you have only two choices. Either you get inspired or you escape. It can be literally through drugs, through alcohol, through anything that you want, just dreaming, just meditating, just vibing high, but you only have those two options. And you have to be mindful of them, because if you just enter into this not knowing what you want, it's easy just to escape, because it's an easy option, it's an easy way out. And I just say, for example, for music, you can use music as an escape, and you can use music as a motor, as an engine to actually do what you're meant to do.
Spice rum would do you dirty. You ever had spice rum?
I don't think so. I don't do much rum.
Yeah, spice rum could do you dirty. I love wine, Elijah. I indulge now and again. I had huge insights.
I do like wine, so cheers.
Oi! So beyond that, Chris, you really just type my name and type a light path 11 with my name, and you'll see multiple different videos. You'll pick and choose one that fits for you. That said, like I said, I want to do this Uranus retrograde again, but as things develop, I do have some reports here. These are really just more, if you see this, 1, 2, 3, but these are just like from my rising sign and her rising sign. So we have five signs here.
He's a nerd and I love it.
What's up? I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took notes. I take notes on astrology. I take notes on tarot. I take notes on everything, and I do study in my own time. So do keep a heads up for how will it affect you, this retrograde, personally. All right, for now, definitely hit the like and the thumbs up button. What I want to say is your final warning is be very careful, be very mindful of the two eclipses coming in October and in November. All right, those two eclipses, everything that's happening now, everything that happened a month ago when Uranus and Taurus first banged off with Saturn in Aquarius again, it was intense. All right, she gave you some examples earlier. It was tense. You have to understand where your placements are to give more specifics. So do keep that in mind. If you're a Libra, I can tell you right now, Uranus is in your 8th house, and Saturn is in your 5th house. If you're a Pisces, rising or sun or moon is in your 3rd house for Uranus, 12th house for Saturn. All right. If you're in the 2nd house for Aries, if you're Aries, every Aries placement you have, 2nd house will be affecting your Uranus. All right. I know for a fact that this is about you developing talents and letting people go, because Saturn is in your 11th house. So you have to understand how Saturn is combining with Uranus. And that's the key. When you have something cold and dry and serious as Saturn just jamming Uranus, that's nasty. I said it on purpose. I'm so disgusting.
I was like, Uranus.
Uranus. Leo. Oh, wow. That makes sense. Your Leo's in the 12th? Bro, that makes a lot of sense.
But look at Cherie's comment. I have a 12 houses telling him I deserve wine now and again.
Bro,
I totally get that.
You got a 12 stellium? I mean, wine is your birthright. Okay, 12th house is drugs. 12th house is drugs. I had to honestly learn to embrace that, like, you know, I got a lot of Piscean energy. I got a lot of 12th house energy. I had to learn to embrace that. If I try to explain or share with too many people what my life is like, especially when it comes to, like, you know, mind-altering substances, whatever that is, which includes sex, right? Like, sex is a hormonal and mind-altering substance. So, you know, this is not even about a drug or this is that. I had to learn to embrace that. Pisces is the house of drugs for a reason. Pisces is not a human for a reason, right? The level of intelligence and the wisdom, I want to say, of the beliefs of all things that are possible and exist within the realm of Pisces is etheric in nature. So no human can ever discover what does it really mean to be a Pisces. That's why they always feel so misunderstood. And there's also part of the reason why they escape 12th house, because it's like mother lovers just don't understand. In all sincerity, if you're not a Pisces, you don't have Pisces energy, you don't get it.
Yeah, please watch Umbrella Academy. Klaus has the strongest Pisces vibes that I ever seen in a series or movie.
7th house sun will be addicted to people. I've seen that. I've dated a woman with a 7th house sun. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Like in a very way where it's like, you know, so much extrovertism that it's another means of escape because they don't have to really look at and work on themselves. And again, as I said it out loud, right, this was my reflection at a point. So at a point, and I had to learn really that I was avoiding healing my own heart. Why? Because I was afraid and not willing to look fully and deeply into myself. Only at a superficial layer was I willing to see myself. So that was my reflection. So do be mindful that when I say that, this was my reflection, right? So, yeah. Vibes.
So yeah.
I mean, yeah. Aquas feel misunderstood. Every zodiac sign feels misunderstood. As an Aries, I feel misunderstood. I feel like people don't understand Aries, but they like to pretend they do. Aquas feel the same. She's a Pisces and she feels the same. I know Libras feel misunderstood. No one gets a Libra. No one understands. Scorpios feel misunderstood. Everybody think they know a Scorpio because everybody do thousands of hours of research on Scorpios and they think they understand what it means to be a Scorpio. You don't. Okay? It's like, so you know what I say, so happy you're on. Bang, what up,
Hey,
Court?
Kurt!
Oh my God, I have the abundant reality tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm out, y'all. I got Saturn in Aquarius responsibilities. I have a whole group that I'm leading tomorrow. I'm going to save my energy. This is done. I'm out of here. My 12th house is Mercury in Gemini.
Thank you, Kurt. They apparently reminded him that
Thank
he
you,
has
Courtney, for being here. I was like, oh
responsibilities.
crap. Saturn in Aquarius is like, yo, you better go handle your business, bro. Tomorrow's my day. Let me shake it. 12th house Mercury in Gemini. Ah, yes. Mercury in Gemini is the placement of crazy. Shala, I know you just got in here, so I don't mean to say it. You know, I know we don't have a relationship, and I'm going to say yet. But I know.
No, but he can be so, I mean, it feels like rude almost, but it's like the most raw energy.
I'm such a loving human. We're going to talk. We're going to learn more about that 12th house Gemini, but I tell you, it's the place of crazy. And my sun is Gemini, and my moon is Aries. Is your sun 12th house too? This bug is really annoying. And a Cancer rising. I've been feeling all the shifts. Hell yeah. Because Gemini, Mars in Gemini is shaking everything up. I said it in the beginning. No one understands what it means to have Gemini and Mars for 7 months. Y'all think y'all ready? I don't even got to do it because my glasses are see-through. You're not ready. I'm not ready. The best you can do is take the advice that I've already been giving out. So beyond that, I'm out of here, yo. I got a whole mentorship to run tomorrow. Like,
I love how this responsibility just kicked in. Like, no, done.
Courtney came.
Bye. Thank you.
Courtney came in. I was like, I got like 11 people in a group that I'm leading tomorrow. This is not happening, okay? Saturn in Aquarius on the day that is hitting heavy on conjunctions with Leo. It's like, yo, you better go handle your group work, the friendships that are actually valuing and praising and showing attention for me, my Leo's 9th house, right? For what you're teaching. So it's like, nope, this was like I had extra energy and I wanted to come out here and I've been feeling it all day. I wanted to do this live. I'm out of here. Deuces. Thank you for your thumbs up. Type in my little secret. All right. Oh, that's not that. That's my fault. That's my fault. Type in my little secret.
My little Virgo secret.
Thank you. All right. Type in my in the email list. All right. If you're not on the email list, check that there. My little Virgo secret. All right, tomorrow you're gonna be getting an email by tomorrow. Thank you. Good to see y'all. Tomorrow you're gonna get an email. It's gonna say that. You're gonna get a little recipe. To be honest, I forgot. I don't even know what the secret is anymore. I don't remember the secret anymore. That's how secretive it is.
No,
okay?
he has big boss energy. He's like, yeah, it looks okay. You send it.
Big boss energy.
Trust you. It looks good.
You heard her. Love.